should go. So, Honorable Speaker, I fully support the annulment of that particular provision and that particular regulation, and also the return to the normalcy, a total withdrawal of the communication done by the the Director General of KERA on this particular communication. We as a house, we do not accept such side shows. We would like the Director General of KERA to also acquaint themselves with the laws that are in this country that basically guide on how resources should be utilized and guide on the processes and functions of the different institutions, especially in its docket or within the ministry. And as such, Honourable Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honourable Tom KAJWANG, member for Ruaraka.
Madam Speaker, there are too many competing interests, so many people trying to compete with us in the space of lawmaking. You start with the president. He wants to make laws through reservations and vetoing. You go to ministers, they want to claim the space of making laws through delegated legislation. There is one constitution which has said clearly that Parliament, under Article 95 and under Article 96, that Parliament has the sole making authority of legislation in this House. And so we have to speak on the rooftops. In every political pulpit that we get, we must preach this message, that they must know that the function of National Assembly and Senate is to make laws and nobody else. If you look at this issue that we are talking about, it came by way of a memo, a circular. I want to call out on the Director General of KERA. That is the person who actually penned this thing. He knows the law. He knows that he can't make regulations out there. And he knows that a memo or a circular itself, if it has the force of law, is a law-making instrument. And that is why when we were debating earlier here on delegated legislation, even a guideline must not be issued out there if it has a force of law without coming into this House. So if you want to make law, for heaven's sake, change the law. Just amend the law and we will be peaceful. Everybody will be happy. Now look at this report. There is this people called 9th National County Government Coordinating Summit. This is a body unknown to law. Which law incorporates this body calling itself 9th National County Government Coordinating? You know? Then I have a problem with these people called Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee. If you read the report, it is these people actually who told the minister to amend the law. You know, the thinking, even looking at the thinking, is that the minister can change the law. The minister can't change the law, of course. It is us who must change the law. So this kind of, you know, people who want to feel big when they are themselves small, should be resisted at all costs. But let me go back to the KERA who actually wrote this thing. He must know wherever he is that we can even remove him from office for violating the law. This circular is in violation of the law. We can have a motion before this House to remove him and deal with him because he is violating the law. He couldn't have accepted to write this regulation. Now, Madam Speaker, I look at the recommendations and I agree entirely with the Honorable Otiende Molo that this is not something even which should be withdrawn. This thing should be obliterated. This thing should just, it is null and void. There is nothing to withdraw in a null and void piece of guideline. But there it is, the committee has proposed it, and it is not harmful. I think I want to support. But I also want to say that public officers, that is in 3, public officers should refrain from issuing communications. I think they just have to keep to the law. If next time we find something like this, then I urge honorable members that we should not go this direction. Should just bring a bill here to impeach that, that officer from not following the law and trying to make the law through the back door. Then the last recommendation, which I think members of this House must agree to, that instead of talking about all these things, let them release funds for the year 2013, 2013 and 2014. This is what they should do, instead of making a lot of politics from nothing. I therefore support that we take this direction and censor very seriously the person that wrote this thing and the people who are conniving behind him. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Ruaraka. Honorable members, I realize that on this screen we have honorable members who may not be in the House. I would like to find out whether the Honorable Julius Ole Sonkuli is in the House. He is not in the House.